He had the shot of a cannon, the power of a gladiator, and the soul of Brazil. Adriano Leite Ribeiro, the emperor, from the favelas of Rio to the throne of the San Siro, from unstoppable to unthinkable. This is the story of a man who had it all and lost it all. A rise so rapid it felt inevitable. A fall so tragic it felt impossible. Today, we ask the question, what happened to Adriano? Chapter 1. Born in the shadow of the favela, Vila Cruzeiro, one of Rio de Janeiro's most dangerous favelas. Gunshots at night, drug gangs on every corner, a place where children learn to run before they can walk. Not for fun, but for survival. Adriano grew up here. His father, Almir, worked long hours to feed the family and protect his son from the chaos outside their small home. But in the middle of danger, there was one constant: football. On dusty streets with goals made of bricks, he learned to strike a ball so hard that it could silence an entire alley. His friends joked that if you stood in front of his shot, you might not get up again. By the time he was 15, local defenders avoided marking him. They called him Tank, the Tank. At 17, he signed for Flamengo, and even in Brazil's top league, his power and precision stood out instantly. Chapter 2. From Brazil to the Colosseum. In 2001, European scouts were circling. Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Inter Milan all watched closely. Inter won the race, paying 13 million euros for the teenager. Milan was a world away from Vila Cruzeiro. New language, new culture, new pressure, but in his very first friendly for Inter, he unleashed a 30-meter free kick against Real Madrid. The ball flew past Iker Casillas like a rocket.
Vamos a ver quién golpea. Adriano, golazo. Qué golazo ha metido.
The San Siro erupted. The Italian press called it a goal from another planet. He was loaned to Fiorentina, then Parma, where he scored 23 goals in 37 games, including unstoppable runs where defenders simply bounced off him. Adriano was no longer a promise. He was a weapon. Chapter 3. The Emperor's Peak. By 2004, he returned to Inter Milan as a man transformed, physically unstoppable, 1.89 meters of pure muscle, yet moving with the grace of a winger. Defenders bounced off him. Goalkeepers feared him. From 2004 to 2006, he scored 40 goals in 48 matches for Brazil and Inter. His left foot could hit over 100 kilometers per hour. Free kicks bent physics. In the 2004 Copa America final, Brazil trailed Argentina 2-1 in stoppage time. With seconds left, Adriano controlled a desperate cross and smashed the ball into the net with such force that the goalkeeper barely moved. Brazil equalized, went to penalties, and won. Adriano was top scorer and player of the tournament. A year later, at the Confederations Cup, he destroyed Argentina again.
Olha o Adriano, tem a chance, abre o espaço, bate pro gol, perna esquerda, gol! Torcedor aplaude, tá feliz da vida, para Adriano, para fazer o gol! Gol!
2 goals in the final, another golden boot, another golden ball. At 23, he was supposed to be the next Ronaldo. In Milan, they crowned him L'Imperatore, the Emperor. Chapter 4. The Call That Changed Everything. August 2004. Just before his explosion on the world stage, Adriano received a phone call from Brazil. His father, Almir, his greatest supporter, his role model, had died suddenly of a heart attack. Teammate Javier Zanetti later said, "From that day, Adriano was never the same. He was still there physically, but mentally, he was gone. The smile that lit up stadiums disappeared. Celebrations turned into muted jogs back to the center circle. He still played, but the joy was replaced by a heavy shadow." Chapter 5. The Beginning of the Fall. At first, the goals didn't stop, but his discipline did. He started missing training. Late nights turned into early mornings. Rumors of heavy drinking became daily headlines. Inter's management tried everything. Private talks, personal trainers, even sending him back to Brazil to be close to his family. But depression doesn't respect schedules, and the Emperor was slowly disappearing. Chapter 6. World Cup Disappointment. In 2006, Brazil arrived at the World Cup in Germany as clear favorites. Ronaldinho, Kaká, Ronaldo, and Adriano, the new weapon, the powerhouse up front. But the magic never came. Adriano scored just twice in the group stage.
Di recupero, palla a destra, schema con l'uomo libero, se ne va Kakà, chiama il pallone Adriano, ancora Kakà, Cafu dentro, Adriano! 2-0 Brasile!
And looked sluggish in every match. In the quarterfinals, Brazil were outplayed by France. The golden generation went home early. The media turned on him. The fans began to doubt. For the first time, people openly asked, was Adriano losing it? Chapter 7, The Breaking Point. Back in Milan, the situation worsened. Jose Mourinho, Inter's coach, said Adriano was mentally not present. Photos of him at parties surfaced weekly. His weight began to rise. In 2008, he went on loan to São Paulo. But instead of finding peace, he found more distractions. Back home, friends, fame, and favela life pulled him further from football. One coach recalled, sometimes he wouldn't show up for training. We'd find him days later, back in Vila Cruzeiro. Chapter 8, A Glimmer of the Old Emperor. In 2009, something changed. Adriano signed for Flamengo. Back in Rio, close to family, he scored 19 goals in the Brazilian league, leading Flamengo to their first title in 17 years. The Maracana shook. Fans cried. Maybe, just maybe, the Emperor had returned. Roma believed. Corinthians believed. But discipline never returned. Missed training sessions, weight problems, and recurring injuries ended each comeback before it truly began. Chapter 9, The Silent Goodbye. By 2014, Adriano was without a club. No farewell match, no press conference, just silence. He later admitted, after my father died, I lost myself. Football couldn't fill the hole. I tried, but I couldn't find the same happiness. For a man who once terrified every defender in Europe, the quiet end was almost surreal. Chapter 10, Life After the Throne. Today, Adriano lives in Rio, mostly away from the public eye. Occasional appearances on TV, occasional Instagram posts from the favela. He still smiles in photos, but the look in his eyes tells another story. Locals still call him the Emperor. Kids still ask for autographs. In Brazil, he's remembered with affection, not anger, because they know the real battle Adriano fought wasn't on the pitch. Chapter 11, Legacy of the Emperor. Adriano's story is more than wasted talent. It's a reminder that even the strongest bodies can be broken by the mind. That money, fame, and glory can't replace love and stability. In just a few years, he went from the most feared striker in the world to a cautionary tale. But ask any defender who faced him at his peak, and they'll tell you, when Adriano wanted to score, there was nothing you could do. The Emperor's reign was short, but for those who saw it, it was unforgettable. Power, passion, poetry in a left foot. Adriano's story will always be one of football's greatest what-ifs, because sometimes even kings can't escape their own battles.